Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. Going to be giving you my match reaction for the Manchester United Granada game. So Manchester United have just beat Granada 2-0 at Old Trafford in the Europa League quarter-final second leg. It was 4-0 on aggregate because we beat Granada 2-0 in the first leg. We have progressed to the semi-finals. It's now 5 semi-finals under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and we play Roma in the semi-final. So Chris Smalling and Mkhitaryan will be reuniting with Manchester United. I do remember when we played Roma in the Champions League and we beat them 7-1. We've got a very, very good chance of winning the Europa League. The Europa League is our only chance of any silverware this season. You know, we got to the semi-finals last season. We lost 2-1 to Sevilla. And we won the Europa League back in 2017 under Jose Mourinho. We beat Ajax in the final 2-0. Solskjaer says he wants us to finish the season with a trophy because that would mark progress. But anyway, let's get into it. So we took the lead in the 6th minute of the game. It was a goal from Edinson Cavani. It was a lovely volley from Edinson Cavani and it was a good header on from Paul Pogba. So Paul Pogba had got the assist. Edinson Cavani enjoyed a very, very good game. He was superb against Tottenham in our last league game. You know, he obviously had a disallowed goal against Tottenham, which should have stood. And his second goal was superb. It was a diving header and it was a good cross by Mason Greenwood. Now, a lot of Manchester United fans want Edinson Cavani to stay at the club for next season. And so too does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, it recently said that we've been handed a boost in our attempt to keep Edinson Cavani, because the Uruguay manager has advised Edinson Cavani to stay in Europe. Solskjaer did say prior to the game against Tottenham that he's unsure over Edinson Cavani's future. Not so long ago, we held talks with Edinson Cavani over his future at the club. But he's made a fantastic impact since he's come in. You know, he's scored good goals, his hold-up play's been good, he's created chances, and his movement in and out of the box has been very, very good. But there's been some games where he hasn't got enough service and he's looked isolated. We got him on a free transfer last summer. He signed a 1-year contract with Man United with an option of a second year. Footballer Insider recently said that he's willing to take a pay cut to join Boca Juniors. And he's already got a verbal agreement with Boca Juniors, and Boca Juniors are willing to offer him a 3-year contract. Now, Marcus Rojo, who's a former Man United player, he's held conversations with Cavani over a move to Boca Juniors, and he actually urged Edinson Cavani to leave Man United for Boca Juniors by promising to take him fishing. Cavani's current contract expires at the end of the season. And our second goal came in stoppage time. It was an own goal by Valijo. Alex Tellez had got the assist for the own goal. Now, David De Gea, he didn't really have much to do in goal tonight, but he did make a good save late on. And in the first half, he played out a lovely chipped pass to Anwan Bissaka. I thought it'd have actually been Dean Henderson in goal tonight, but it was David De Gea. David De Gea didn't really have much to do in the first leg against Granada. He did make a few straightforward saves from Kennedy, but that was it. Now, a lot of United fans are saying that it would be a mistake to let David De Gea go in the summer transfer window. I don't think it would be, because I reckon now David De Gea has had his years at the club. He's endured 10 years at Manchester United. And I reckon now that Dean Henderson is our number one. You know, Dean Henderson was in goal for the game against Tottenham, which was our last league game. And he was in goal for 7 games in a row prior to the game against Granada in the first leg. But I've already said that Dean Henderson is reliable enough to be our number one. Now, recent reports have said that we may loan David De Gea out and not let him go permanently. He said the other week that David De Gea has made his transfer decision and he's preparing to leave Man United, and it did say that we're set to pay off his huge contract. We set the price for De Gea, it's 50 million, and there's a few clubs interested in him. De Gea has 2 years left on his current contract and he's on £375,000 a week. I reckon De Gea's had 8 good years out of the 10 years he's been at Man United, because in the last couple of years he has been a liability, reflecting on the calamitous mistakes he's made. And Wan-Bissaka, tonight I thought defensively he was superb, but he didn't show much attacking intent. And I think there was one point where he got caught out by Kennedy. A bit sloppy on the ball at times. I can assure Wan-Bissaka's got a long-term future at Man United. You know, this is his second full season. Got him in a deal worth 50 million from Crystal Palace in the summer of 2019. But he needs to show more attacking intent persistently. He doesn't show it enough. Axel Tuanzebe, he obviously started tonight. It was his first start since January, and I thought he did very, very well at the back, to his credit. Victor Lindelof struggled at times, but prior to that I thought he did quite well. Malik Tellez, like I mentioned, he got the assist for the own goal. Wasn't too bad tonight. I think Tellez needs to get forward more though, but I think defensively Tellez is quite good. Fred, I thought he was pretty good tonight. You know, energetic, pressed quite well. He is a good player, is Fred, but he's not world class. We certainly overpaid for him. We got him for £52 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. Matic, I thought he was well composed tonight. Did quite well in the midfield. Paul Pogba, he had a good game. You know, like I mentioned, got the assist for Cavani's first goal. Paul Pogba was playing in more of an advanced role, and we need to keep him there because that's where he's more effective. Mason Greenwood, I thought he enjoyed a very good game tonight. Made some very good runs. Kept the ball well. Got into some very good positions. Mason Greenwood's been fantastic since he broke into our first team squad. He made his senior debut in 2019 and he's been a United player since the age of 7. So he's been part of the club for a while. You know, earlier on this season he signed a new 4-year contract with the club. Sometimes we play Greenwood centrally, sometimes we play him on that right-hand side. Bruno Fernandes, pretty good tonight. I think he had a couple of chances. He had one effort that just went over the bar and the other effort he had that went way wide. We brought substitutions on in the game. We saw Donny van der Beek come on. We saw Daniel James come on. We saw Juan Mata come on. Brandon Williams came on. And Amad Diallo Traore came on. I was expecting Manchester United to win tonight because obviously Granada aren't that good. They're sitting 8th in La Liga. Their current manager is Diego Martinez. And Granada had some chances tonight, but they weren't great again. But they weren't good in the first leg. Granada have got some good players. I do rate that Roberto Soldado a lot. He's Granada's joint top goal scorer. He's a former Tottenham player, so he's proven in the Premier League. That George Molina, he's quite good. He's Granada's joint top goal scorer as well. And that Yangel Herrera is quite good. And Luis Suarez, he's one of their key players. And I like that Kennedy. I think he's on loan at Granada from Chelsea. Granada had some players missing tonight. I think Miller was missing. Lozano was missing. Sorrow was recently injured, but I think he's now back. Duarte is injured. He was suspended anyway. And Iteke was suspended. The players we had missing tonight was obviously Luke Shaw. He was suspended. Maguire was missing. He was suspended. And Scott McTominay was suspended. Marcus Rashford wasn't available. He's out with a foot injury. Marcus Rashford has become injury prone at Manchester United. Eric Bailly's out with COVID. Anthony Martial's out. I think he's going to be out for the remainder of the season. Solskjaer confirmed that not so long ago. And Phil Jones, he's still out with injury, but he doesn't get in our 11 anyway. But Solskjaer will be very, very delighted that we are into the semi-finals. You know, there's a very, very good chance it's going to be Man United-Arsenal final. You know, we beat Roma. They beat Villarreal in the semi. It is an all-English Europa League final. And that's what I definitely want. Now, our next game is Burnley in the Premier League. And I'm expecting Manchester United to beat Burnley. Burnley are sitting like 16th in the Premier League. Burnley's current manager is Sean Dyche. Obviously, before he was at Burnley, he was at Watford. Obviously, Burnley beat us at Old Trafford last season, 2-0. That was Burnley's first win at Old Trafford in 58 years. So that's nearly 6 decades. We did beat them at Turf Moor though earlier on this season, 1-0. And we won at Turf Moor last season, 2-0. Burnley have got some good players. Obviously, one of their key players is Chris Wood. They've got Ashley Barnes. He's one of their key players. Vidra, he's one of their key players. Jay Rodriguez, he's one of their key players. I think he scored both goals in the Man U Burnley game last season at Old Trafford. Tarkowski, he's one of their key players. Westwood, he's quite good. Cork's good. Burnley bought a few players in last year. Obviously, they brought Dale Stevens in. They brought Anthony Mancini in. They brought Will Norris in. And they brought Josh Brownhill in. And after Burnley, it's Leeds United. That's going to be a very, very good game. Then it's Liverpool. But I can assure that we will finish in the top 4 in the Premier League. I'd say reflecting on that win against Tottenham in our last league game, that secures us a second place finish. So we finish second this season and we win the Europa League. I'll turn around and say that represents a good season for Man United, and that gives us something to build on going on into next season. I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a long-term manager for Man United, but I hope I'm proven wrong. But he does deserve at least another season because he has made progress in certain aspects. Now, I can assure he will be Man United manager in the summer transfer window, and he'll be Man United manager next season, Will Solskjaer. Because we've already said that he will not be sacked even if we fail to win the Europa League. And next season will be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's third full season at the club. But I've got to say, he is the best manager since Ferguson, and he's our 4th permanent manager since Ferguson. The summer transfer window is huge for Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because we need to make signings. I'm expecting Man United to make around 3 or 4 signings in the summer transfer window. Reports said not so long ago that Man United will spend big in the summer transfer window, but Solskjaer wants to keep transfer dealings quiet now. I've identified the areas where Man United need to strengthen up. We need a striker, we need a right winger, we need a defensive midfielder, and we also need a centre-half. Solskjaer did warn earlier on this season that we may not do business as usual due to the pandemic. But he said he's interested in bringing in players that will be a perfect fit for the club. There's a very, very good chance that Solskjaer's going to get the backing he deserves in the summer transfer window. Because obviously we've got John Murtough, he's our director of football, and it was the right decision by the club getting a director of football in, because I did mention that's one of the structural changes that we needed. We've got Darren Fletcher, he's our technical director. And obviously Woodward, he's standing by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He believes Solskjaer is the right man to lead the club forward. And he released a statement earlier on this season saying that the progress by Solskjaer and the players this season is clear. So in that aspect, Woodward is backing Solskjaer. And in general, Woodward's come out several times to show his support for Ole, even when we was enduring them really bad periods. Like I said, our board have got a soft stance on Solskjaer, with him being a club legend. But there's a lot of players that Manchester United are looking at now. Earlier on today, I give you the news on Rafael Varane from Real Madrid. Now, according to reports in Spain, Man United are in advanced talks with Rafael Varane. So Rafael Varane to Manchester United is close. And we hope to lower Real Madrid's 60 million asking price, because Real Madrid are demanding £60 million. Rafael Varane is ready to leave Real Madrid, and we are preparing a transfer bid. Rafael Varane's contract talks with Real Madrid have stalled. Rafael Varane has just over a year left on his current contract with Real Madrid. Eduardo Inda, the Spanish transfer expert, said earlier on this season that Rafael Varane could be on his way to Man United in the summer. And there was narratives coming out earlier on this season saying that Real Madrid are prepared to sell Rafael Varane to Man United on one condition. He must inform Real Madrid on his decision to leave. Back in 2018, we was prepared to sanction a £100 million move for Rafael Varane. But he's a world-class centre-half and he complement Harry Maguire in our back line. He's not played in the Premier League, but I can assure he will exceed expectations in the Premier League if he comes, and he'll replicate what he's done at Real Madrid. He's been a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He's endured 10 years with them. He's won 18 major honours with Real Madrid and he's made over 300 appearances. Real Madrid paid just €10 million for him from Lens back in 2011. But there's been a lot of centre-halves on our agenda. It said not so long ago that Solskjaer had drawn up a 6-man centre-back shortlist. And the first 4 names are Jules Koundé, Pau Torres, Rafael Varane and Konate from RB Leipzig. Now, I recently give you the news on Declan Rice. Recent reports have said that Declan Rice is interested in joining Man United, and he has asked Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw about life at Old Trafford. West Ham are demanding over £100 million. 100 million's too much for Declan Rice. He's a good player. I reckon he's worth from between 50 to 60 million pounds. It said earlier on this season that Solskjaer agreed with our recruitment team that Declan Rice would be the perfect signing for the club. The main explanations I take Declan Rice at Man United is because he's well proven in the Premier League. He's still young, he's got a lot of development in him, and he's predominantly a holding midfielder, and Man United need a holding midfielder. Declan Rice has been at West Ham 7 years. He's got a contract with West Ham until 2024. Before he was at West Ham, he was at Chelsea. He was in their youth setup for several years, but he never got into their first team. You already know the news on Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. Solskjaer still wants to sign Erling Haaland from Borussia Dortmund as well. And there's been a lot of narratives coming out regarding Harry Kane recently. But in the summer transfer window, we're going to focus on the incomings. Wait a second. Sorry about that, pins and needles and feet. Yeah, we're going to focus on the incomings and the outgoings, because quite a few players are going to leave Man United in the summer transfer window. Like I've already mentioned, good chance Cavani's going to leave. I don't want him to though. A lot of United fans are saying we need to offload Anthony Martial. Good chance we'll offload Juan Mata because he doesn't get in our 11. He'd just come back from injury not so long ago. Donny van der Beek, think there's a good chance we'll offload him because he's not getting enough opportunities at Manchester United. Nemanja Matic, good chance we'll offload him. He's not one of our first choice midfielders. Paul Pogba could still leave in the summer transfer window, but I'd like him to stay potentially past the summer. Phil Jones, I'm expecting him to leave. Tuanzebe, yeah, like I mentioned, he played tonight, but doesn't get enough chances, does he? I think he deserves more opportunities because when he plays, he puts good performances out. One of Tuanzebe's best games was the PSG game when we beat them 3-1 a few years ago now. De Gea could leave. I'm expecting Romero to leave because he's like, our third or fourth choice goalkeeper now. Diego Dalot, I think we'll be looking to get rid of him permanently. You know, he's out on loan with AC Milan at the moment. Jesse Lingard, we could be getting rid of him permanently. But Lingard could make a return to Manchester United because Solskjaer said prior to this game that Lingard's got a future at Man United, and he's confirmed that Man United want Jesse Lingard back. Now, earlier on this season, it said we was open to a sensational return for Lingard, and it said Lingard could be given a new 3-year contract. Now, it said earlier on this season that we have the advantage in Jesse Lingard transfer talks, because West Ham have said they'll do whatever it takes to get him permanently. We've been interested in a swap deal involving Lingard and Declan Rice, and it said we set our asking price for Lingard. It's between 25 to 30 million pounds. But since he's gone out on loan to West Ham, he's made a fantastic impact. Lingard's current contract with Man United expires very, very soon. The main explanation we loaned him out is because he lost his place in the team. But there's a lot of players that will stay at Man United in the summer transfer window. There is. And there's quite a few players that have got long-term futures at the club. There has been a lot of Manchester United fans demanding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out of the club, but they've obviously got main explanations why they want him out. But I presume there's a lot of United fans that are Ole in and believe that he needs more time at the club. I hope he succeeds as Manchester United manager, because I do love Solskjaer a lot. He's a club legend. He endured 11 years as a player for Manchester United. He flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance. And his most iconic moment as a player was 1999, when he scored the late goal in the Champions League final and he won the club the treble. That is the club's greatest achievement. Solskjaer hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. That is a concern, but that doesn't mean he can't succeed at Manchester United. Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at the club it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. But he's been here now over 2 years, and I'd say he's learned quite a bit on the job. He's gained some managerial experience. He's tried a few different elements. He's tried different formations. He's rotated the squad a lot. When Solskjaer got appointed in as Man United manager, he did say that everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players, and that's exactly what Solskjaer has done. He has got a lot of trustworthy in his young players. But there is positives to take regarding Solskjaer. He's got us to the Europa League semi-final. 5 semi-finals now under Ole. Obviously got us to the FA Cup quarter-final this season. Got us to the EFL Cup semi-final this season. Last season, which was his first full season, guided us to 3 semi-finals, got us qualification for the Champions League and got us a 3rd place finish. We are 2nd in the Premier League. We're unbeaten in our last 23 Premier League away games, so we haven't lost away from home in the Premier League for over a year. We've been far better away from home than we have been at home. Solskjaer's made good signings as Man United manager. He's spent almost £300 million. He's obviously brought in Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire. Also brought Bruno Fernandes in and Odin Ighalo in on loan. Ighalo obviously left the club in January. And also brought in Donny van der Beek, Alex Telles, Edison Cavani, Amad Diallo, Traore and Facundo Palestri. And obviously we let Facundo Palestri go out on loan in January. Solskjaer's obviously not yet got all the players that he wanted to recommend in, and in that aspect the blame stems from the board, but hopefully we'll get the players he wants to get in the summer transfer window. He said earlier on this season our transfer budget had been revealed. It was £80 million. A lot of United fans were shocked in that aspect. We know that £80 million is nowhere near enough for us to get the players we want in. I reckon Solskjaer needs at least £200 million. But, we're going to sell players in the summer transfer window, so in that aspect will generate money and it will help us with our rebuilding process. Won't it? And Solskjaer, another positive, he's got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he's come into the club. You know, in January, he let Igalo go. He let Facundo Palestra go out on loan. Let Jesse Lingard go out on loan. Let Rojo go. And let Timothy Fosu-Mensah go. And in the other transfer windows he's enjoyed, he's let a lot of other players go as well. He let Young go, Valencia go, who were 2 long-serving players for Man United. Also let Darmian go. Let Chris Smalling go. Let Herrera go. Let Angel Gomez go. Let Sanchez go. Let Lukaku go. Loan Tahith Chon out. Loan James Garner out. Loan Dylan Levitt out. Loan Joe Pereira out again for another season. Loan Diego Dalot out. Loan Andres Pereira out. So there you go. And we've enjoyed very good periods under Ollie where we have seen consistency. And in some of them good periods, he's got the best out of the team. As you all know, Solskjaer's agreed a new 3-year contract worth 30 million. Solskjaer's still got a year left on his current 3-year contract. Does he deserve a new contract? In some aspects, yeah. In some aspects, no. But we know we're never going to be the team we was under Ferguson. We've got to accept that in that aspect. But you know, it's good that we've seen consistency under Ollie. You know, in the last 8 years, Man United have been playing catch-up, but we've made mistakes in the last 8 years, and that's why we haven't been as consistent as we'd like to have been. But tomorrow, I will be giving you my player ratings from this game. Then after that, I'll be giving you my preview for the Burnley game. Drop your comments below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.